welcome to Cooking on the Farm. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to show you how I can up my green beans. Come on in, let's check out our ingredients. So we have been harvesting green beans all summer long. Fun fact, I hate canned green beans, like the ones that you buy in the store. They come out and they're like, you pick it up and it goes, wow, and they have no flavor, and like you read the ingredients on the can and it's like all this stuff that I don't know what it is, and is it safe, and I just don't know. So all you need is green beans, salt, jars, and water. That's it. Okay, so literally I am picking through my green beans. I'm gonna have David zoom in on this green bean. This little guy has a yuck spot right in the center. So I'm gonna clip him off here, and I'm gonna clip him off here, throw that away, and then throw away your stem. So you have two ends of your green bean. You have your one that was attached to the bush or vine or however, whichever variety you got. And then you have your tail end, okay? You clip off just the stem. You don't need to do this one unless they get fat. I had a fat one in here. He was pretty fat. He's about the thickness of my like pointer finger. I took off both ends because it kind of, when you peel it, it peels back and it just gets a little kind of wonky. I'm just breaking these in like what I would consider bite-sized pieces, about an inch. Something that you want to be able to like dump out of a jar, heat up, and then put on your plate or make into a casserole. So even though they're big, I'm canning them anyway. I had one the other day and it was huge. My mom's like, don't can that, it's too big. I canned it and it was phenomenal because I just wanted to try it because I was going to make this video for y'all, and I wanted to be able to say, this guy's too fat, don't do him. But he was still good, and that could be because we watered them really well, or it just could be the canning process. So as I'm washing these, I'm looking for any parts that are dirty. I'm looking for spots that have like bad spots in it. I have been heating my jars and pressure canner. Yeah, we just finished soccer, guys. Oh, some tools that you need. So I wrap my tools in a clean rag, towel, whatever. Things that are going to go in my jars, even though my counters are clean, I still wrap them so I know that they're clean. Even though the new guidelines say you don't have to heat your lids, I still do it because I've only been canning about 4 years, and that's how, when I learned, they did it, and so that's what I'm doing. I am following my recipe from the Ball Book of Home Preserving on page 338. For me, 4 pounds of beans gave me 3 quarts and a pint. I'm not gonna get that today, I don't think. I have been heating my jars. I like to start filling my jars with a little bit of water in there because I feel like it dissolves the salt a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna start with just one because I don't know, I didn't count my beans, how many pounds. I had this in the hot water, and I'm just going to start putting them in here. Looking like they don't care, just dumping them in. I also feel like this helps with the like debubbling a little bit. This is called raw packing. My food that I'm putting in is raw. I try to do these in wide mouth jars, but honestly, I don't think it matters that much. And I'm gonna kind of cram them down a little bit. So my jar is hot. That water that's in there was boiling just a few minutes ago. So I kind of rattle that down. You want an inch headspace. So an inch from your top to your food. So I'm gonna fill these guys up. This water was just boiling. It popped as soon as I literally started filling these guys. If I'm reading my recipe, leave 1 inch headspace. So when you debubble, you wanna go all the way down to the bottom. I generally use a chopstick, but this guy was already out. And I use him also to check my headspace. So I feel like when you use a wide mouth opposed to a regular, you actually get more in there because like this guy, he's pretty straight all the way to the top. This guy kind of comes in a little bit. And when you think you've debubbled enough, debubble some more. Some people pound it on their hand. That's hot. I did it for a split second and I'm like, yep, that's not gonna happen. So headspace, Pokey Joes have headspace. Your top little notch is a 1 inch. So when you put this in here, you want everything to be under, you want the water to touch it, but not come up at all. Because this is not sticky or anything like that, I should have put vinegar in there. I'll just wash my jars. I'm just gonna get a little water from the hot water that I have in the thing, and I'm just gonna run around. So you may be going, why are you cleaning these if they're clean jars? Well, you can get, when you're doing here, you can still get food on your rim and salt, or if you're doing something like with meat, there could be grease. Just cleaning your rims. But you're also, as you're running your finger, you're feeling if anything catches on your rag, and you can use your finger, because if there's any like a nick, your jar's not gonna seal. This is boiling. I just turn it down. You want them the same temperature about. I'm not cranking down, I'm just fingertip tight on these. If you crank them down, the air is not gonna escape in the bubbling process. When it's, you know, pushing out pressure, it's not gonna escape, and then you're gonna have improper seal. I have had rings where they won't go on, like they just don't go on. I chuck them. The other thing is, like this ring is pretty, you know, it's getting pretty wonky looking. They're still good, unless inside, just took these off my applesauce. See how it's some, but the band and everything popped off a jar. But there's like rust in there. I'm gonna throw this guy away. I'm putting these in here because I don't wanna just do two, like have a lot of empty space. I'll can water, right? Tap water is safe to can unless it is like city water. So like well water, safe to can. I am gonna do a 1-inch headspace just so these guys don't rattle around too much. I've never done it with 2. I've done it with 3 and 4 jars, but yeah, okay. So heat on high, lid on. So I'm using my weighted gauge. So I've got my heat on high, and I am going to get this guy going. When steam is coming out of the vent, or pitcock, I think is what it's called. Once it starts shooting out, you set your timer for 10 minutes. And then you put your, this is a weighted gauge on your canner. And we'll get to that part in a minute. I have been venting, ooh, this is a good shirt. You can see the steam right here on my shirt. Anyway, it's been venting for 10 minutes. This little dude has popped up, which means it is exiting all that extra air. And now it's gonna pressurize. So I know where my sweet spot is on my stove. So I'm actually gonna turn my stove down to that sweet spot. So on a weighted gauge, this does not jiggle, it does not make noise. Well, it does if you get too high, it will make noise. I'm waiting till my dial reads 10 pounds of pressure for my altitude. So under 1,000 feet, you're 10 pounds of pressure. Check the guidelines. There are so many good websites out there. Your book says all this stuff too. I don't know them because I'm 300 feet, y'all. Our pressure is about 3 pounds of pressure. So this is a jar that I canned in September. Actually, this has some of the big ones that I was talking about. So once this comes up to pressure, at 10 pounds of pressure, and holds, I'm gonna set my timer following the ball book. It says for pints, it is 20 minutes. And for quarts, which is what I'm doing, 25 minutes. So we are almost to the timing process, y'all. So I'm holding at the 11 mark because I'd rather be a touch above than like yo-yoing like, starting my timer. So since I hit 10 pounds of pressure, I'm gonna set my timer for 25 minutes. My timer is set. I'm just gonna, like, I'm making lunch as I'm watching this. And it's like directly between 10 and 11, which again is where I like it. If it gets going too much into the 10, I'll bump the heat up a little bit, which is what I just did. And by bump it, you're not like, you're just like barely like, that much, not, just a little bit, okay? I don't wanna be going under. If you go under that 10 pounds of pressure, you have to start your time completely over. I have done that. I literally was at the end. I think I had like 2 minutes to go when I was canning bone broth. I had 2 minutes to go, and it, under pressure, I'm like, dang it, I started my time completely over because it's not safe. You have to keep that poundage for the allotted time given. I gotta show you this plate. My friend Rami, I got some cheese on there, got this for me for my birthday. I absolutely love sunflowers, and my birthday is also around the same time that we had to put Chris down. I planted a bunch of sunflowers on Chris's grave so that it would, yes, it's still sad, but it would not be quite so sad because I look over there and it's a happy remembrance because it's my favorite flower. So she bought that for me. I got dinner done, lunch. It's 6 o'clock. This is still doing its thing, okay? You want to stay where you can see this. So David just called the kids in, so I'm gonna take a couple bites, show you guys just these amazing green beans. They're gonna come out of the counter. We'll show you that part. The white ring around the bottom, like midpoint, is the water level because I didn't put any vinegar in my water. This guy looks like he siphoned quite a bit. So my headspace was up here. It has gone down a little bit. And then here's my water that is safe to drink. We'll see how that is. I don't know. I might just add a few of those to the shelf because we lose power a lot where we live. And so having a few of those on the shelf is going to be a good thing. So I'll put the date on those. So these are going to sit here for 12 hours. So tomorrow morning I will take my rings off, scrub them up really well with soap and water. This white residue does come off very easily. And then obviously make sure that they are sealed and then put them out on the shelves with the rest of them. Again, I will have David show you what they look like on the shelves with all the other ones. All right, guys, from my kitchen to yours, I hope you guys have an amazing fall. God bless. Come on in. Oh my gosh.
And what did you see those green beans did that came out of the can?
Wow. And my, oh my gosh, not a roaster. What's this thing called?
Pressure canner?
If I'm reading my recipe, wow, my voice cracked. I just turned it down because you want them, holy schmoly, that's hot. I am gonna do a 1-inch headspace.
Oh, now you're filling again.
This is gonna start boiling. Boiling, guys, that's boiling. Okay, boiling meant pressurized. I don't know. Again, following the ball, I hit myself on the chin.